take the roll.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Byers?
Here.
Commissioner Morrow?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Here.
Commissioner Fry?
Here.
Commissioner Fahey?
Here.
President Me.
Here. Thank you, Mike. I see that we've got 2 presentations. I don't see Amy here, but Zach, are you ready to rock and roll? Yep. Thank you.
Hello. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the museum's upcoming exhibit that's going to celebrate the Park District's 100th anniversary. So Margie recruited me to begin research on the district's history about a year ago, and I've been using a lot of different resources to accomplish this, including looking at the Park District's archives and records, looking at old newspapers at the Wheaton Public Library on microfilm, and also sources at the museum. And I've also conducted some interviews with longtime staff members as well. So all of that we put together into an exhibit titled Wheaton Park District, Celebrating 100 Years. It'll be located in the museum's auditorium on the 2nd floor, and it's going to open on May 8th, 2021, and it will go through next year into April 26th. The exhibit basically features a timeline of the Park District's history, covering when all of the different parks were acquired, all of the different facilities were purchased and opened, and a lot of other significant events throughout the district's history. It'll include historical photos, old sports and recreation artifacts from the museum's collection, such as swimsuits that were used when the first Northside Pool was opened in 1928. So that exhibit will be open during the museum's regular open hours, which during COVID are Tuesday to Friday from 10:30 to 4 and Saturday from 12 to 4. And for people who don't want to come into the museum, we're going to have a virtual tour of the exhibit on May 21st from 12 to 1 p.m. That'll be through Zoom. I've also been working with the marketing department to develop social media posts about the district's history that we'll post on the museum's Facebook and social media, as well as the district's throughout the exhibit. And then I'm also working with Amy and Mark, who do the Park District podcast, A Talk in the Park, to possibly incorporate some of the interviews I did into their podcast.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you very much, Zach. Look forward to the exhibit.
Any questions of Zach?
Zach, I got a question. You're going to have a virtual tour on May 21st. Are you going to tape that so maybe you can put it on YouTube channel or the Park District website so anyone can view it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's very easy with Zoom, and we were planning on doing that.
Oh, you were? Yeah, okay. That's great.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I don't see Amy here to make the presentation for the Go Fly a Kite event. Andy, are you standing in for her or what? No? No?
You know what? Amy is not well today, so
Okay.
I have her presentation here.
Okay.
If it's okay, I could be
It
happy
is
to
okay.
read it.
Excellent.
I'd be happy to read it for our friends at home and
Good.
for our friends here. So we're happy to announce that after a year of closure, the Park District will resume special events on Saturday, May 1st, with our annual Go Fly a Kite event. Our team has worked hard to modify and adapt programming to meet the state of Illinois COVID guidelines, and we look forward to welcoming the community back into our special events in a safe and responsible manner. Go Fly a Kite will take place from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Graff Park on May 1st. This event will also kick off the 100th anniversary celebration of the Wheaton Park District. We have some new and fun things planned to celebrate the anniversary and the return of special events. These include Stan's Donut Truck on site beginning at 9 a.m., and your pre-orders can be taken at wheatonparkdistrict.com/goflyakite for those donuts. A DJ and the first 100 families to arrive and check in at the entrance at the south side of the park near the playground, near the parking lot of Monroe Middle School, will receive a goodie bag featuring a commemorative 100-year anniversary tie-dye kite. We hope everybody can join us on the 1st. In June, we will begin our summer entertainment series at Memorial Park, and we'll be releasing tickets in line with the 25% capacity limits currently in place in our Phase 4 guidelines. Each day or night of entertainment based on the schedule will offer 2 acts of entertainment in the newly renovated Memorial Park. We do anticipate tickets selling out based on capacity limits and encourage the public to subscribe to our e-newsletters and social media accounts to be notified when tickets go on sale. We are anticipating on or about May 4th. We look forward to bringing a wide variety of entertainment to the community, including acts such as American English, Tributosaurus, Midwest Dueling Pianos, Chicago Philharmonic, and more. In total, 11 concerts will be held between June 5th and September 11th. In addition to these great events, we are working to adapt the Wheaton Brew Fest event scheduled for August 7th, Shakespeare in the Park scheduled for August 26th through 28th, and the Cosley Run for the Animals, which is scheduled the morning of June 5th. It's going to be an exciting summer here in Wheaton, and we look forward to having you all join us. As always, for more information, wheatonparkdistrict.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions for Mike on that? None. Moving on, with no members of our public in attendance, we have no community input. Moving on to the consent agenda. Before I read it into the record and ask for a motion for approval, do any of the commissioners wish to have any of the 5 items removed? Okay, hearing nothing, I'll read into the record the items A through E and ask for a motion to approve. A, approval of the disbursements totaling $307,639.72 for the period beginning March 10, 2021 and ending April 13, 2021. B, approval of the disbursements totaling $526,106.69 for the period beginning March 10, 2021 and ending April 13, 2021. Approval of the April 7, 2021 subcommittee meeting minutes with one correction in item number 6, substituting Liberty Drive for Hale Street as a street under construction as it relates to our not having the Taste of Wheaton event this year. Item number D, approval of the March 17, 2021 board meeting minutes. And finally, item E, approval of the General Obligations Limited Tax Park Bond Series 2020 Post-Issuance Compliance Checklist.
So moved.
Second.
I think it was Vires and Fahey?
Fry.
Fry, I'm sorry. So we have a motion by Vires and a second by Fry. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Mike?
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey.
Yes.
President Me.
Yes. Moving on to new business, item number 1. We need a motion to approve the 855 Prairie Avenue Office Building Roof Project bid results and recommendation.
I'll move to approve the contract with the Red Feather Group in the amount of $63,770 with a 10% contingency for a total potential cost of $70,147 for the Prairie Avenue Office Building Roof Project.
Second.
We have a motion by Hutchinson and a second by Fahey. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none. Mike?
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey.
Yes.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
President Me.
Yes. Moving on to item number 2. Need a motion to approve an equipment purchase under the Joint Purchasing Contract Pricing Agreement.
I'll move to approve the purchase of one Toro Groundmaster 7210 mower snow mover for $63,489.85 through Omnia Partners Pricing Contract Number 2017025.
Second.
We have a motion by Fry and a second by Fahey. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Mike?
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey.
Yes.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
President Me.
Yes. Moving on to item number 3. Need a motion to approve the equipment and apparel bid results and recommendation for the Rams football program.
I'll move to approve the equipment and apparel bids from various vendors for various products as recommended at a cost not to exceed $24,000.
Second.
Recommendation details listed at the end of the agenda.
Second.
That's my note.
That's good. We have a
Note to
motion
self.
by Fahey and a second by Fry. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Mike, voice vote?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Moving on to item number 4, need a motion to approve the 2021 and 2022 apparel bid results and recommendation for the Rams cheerleading program.
I'll move to approve the bids from Rebel Athletic for $149 per uniform for the 2021 and 2022 programs at a cost not to exceed $42,000.
Second.
We've got a motion by Fahey and a second by Morrow. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none. Mike?
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Me?
Yes.
Thank you.
On to item number 5, need a motion to approve Resolution 2021-04 regarding the appointment for the Municipal Retirement Fund Authorized Agent.
I move that we adopt a resolution to appoint Sandra Simpson as the authorized agent for the Wheaton Park District to the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund.
Second.
Got a motion by Morrow and a second by Fahey. Comments, questions, or concerns? Mike, I think we can go with a voice vote on this, can we not?
Sure. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 6, need a motion to approve a license agreement for access and use of Memorial Park for the City of Wheaton Municipal Band.
I move to approve a license agreement by and between the City of Wheaton and the Wheaton Park District for access and use of the bandshell and portions of Memorial Park.
Second.
Got a motion by Vyers and a second by Fry. Comments, questions, or concerns?
I just would like to say that this is a great example of cooperation between the Park District and the City of Wheaton and the Wheaton Municipal Band Commission. It's
Thank
good
you, Ray.
it's good for all our citizens.
Yeah, similarly, I think we can address that in item number 7. Need a motion to approve a license agreement for access and use of Memorial Park for the Community Unit School District 200.
I think we need to take a step back and get a vote
I'm
on
sorry.
the previous one. Thank
Aye,
you.
Eric? Mike?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Moving on to our last item of new business. Need a motion to approve a license agreement for access and use of Memorial Park by the Community Unit School District 200.
I'll move to approve the license agreement by and between School District 200 and the Wheaton Park District for access and use of the band shell and portions of Memorial Park.
Second.
Looks like a toss-up. I'm going to Fry.
I didn't do it. Fahey.
Oh, Fahey, I'm sorry. We've got a motion by Hutchinson and a second by Fahey. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
I just would like to reiterate that I think this, again, is another example of the Park District working with other agencies and taxing bodies to provide quality services to the community. And it's great that we're able to get the kids out with the bands and the choral groups. And I just think that this is a wonderful agreement.
I would like to second that, and I'm looking forward to seeing them, so I'm excited for our high schools.
And I want to thank Mike and the staff for working out the details, on these last 2 items, these license agreements. I know that there was a lot of work involved, so thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing else from any other commissioners, Mike?
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Fahey?
Yes.
President May?
Yes. That was a fairly quick initial agenda. On to reports from staff. Mike, anything from you?
No, nothing to add, sir.
Okay. We have our 2020 annual report from our manager, Michelle Pitkawa, for the DuPage County Historical Museum. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Good evening. What has been a very, very difficult last year for all of us. I'm proud to say that the museum has done very well and ended on good standing. We were closed for about 40% of the year last year. We were under restricted capacity and rules for another 40%. So our year looked a lot different than it has in the last 50 years. But despite that, we reached a similar total reach. That total reach usually includes events, outreach, programming, visiting the museum. Usually it's mostly in person. This year, obviously, we've had to reach through different means. We've had the virtual recreation center through the Wheaton Park District. We've done virtual programming. We've done virtual field trips, social media, website, and we have an online database that previously had been underutilized that has been increasing in utilization the last couple years. Due to COVID-19, our visitors are more heavily Wheaton-based in the last year. It's about 61% compared to 45% in years past, just because of proximity. People realize last minute, oh, the museum's open, we can go out and visit and get out of the house safely. So we do expect that to kind of go back and even out across the county a little bit after we all move into a new normal. Our staff was able to adapt fairly quickly to some hybrid programming, offering virtual programming last summer as well as virtual, as a hybrid, virtual and in-person at the same time. This allowed us to meet our patrons where they felt the most comfortable. And it received great reviews from both the people who were at home on Zoom as well as those who were able to attend in person with us. While summer camps and events like Santa Express were canceled, we were able to develop new virtual field trips, virtual scout programs. We did some craft-to-go kits that were fairly successful. All of these will actually be incorporated into our yearly events and programming moving forward as a way to reach even more people, even once we move into more normal times. Staff maintained exhibits. We're very proud that our curator was able to open all the exhibits we had planned for 2020, despite the closures and reworking the schedule several times over again. That included opening Healing DuPage, which was a medicine exhibit that was previously planned that we then had to reincorporate our current pandemic into the labels. And it is still up if anyone wants to see it. We were able to keep up with our research services. Instead of being where they could come in and look at a research library, it was more by appointment, or our staff did a lot of it through email. And while other revenue generators were not able to happen, our foundation events, Santa Express, rentals, birthday parties, we were very fortunate that at the end of the year, we received $27,500 in grants, and that saved both the foundation and the museum's budgets last year. I would like to note that none of this is possible without our volunteers, and sadly, we lost our longest volunteer last year, Bill Stroner. He had volunteered with the museum for over 55 years. He was part of our Model Engineer Club. He had also volunteered in other capacities when the county had run the museum. Happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead, Ray.
I would just like to say that this is one of the best reports I have seen in all the years we've been associated with the museum. Truly is very informative, a lot of great information, and very nicely put together, so thank you.
Thank you.
John?
A couple comments. First, like Michelle was saying, it was a tough year from us from a programming standpoint in 2020. And I'm looking just at the operating budget, and I could see that our educational programming revenues were down over 90%, yet we ran a surplus. So another division of the Park District acting in a very flexible and fiscally responsible manner, and congratulations on that. And this is, I saw the page on Deacon Stroner, who is known in St. Mike's as Deacon Stroner, baptized my daughter. I hadn't known that he had passed away until I read that. Last time I saw him was at a luncheon for volunteers, and he was really loved model trains and was involved in that organization for a long time and was instrumental in them first being associated with the museum and putting that together back in like 1965 or something like that. So a tremendous volunteer, tremendous relationship he had with the Park District. He'll be truly missed, and that's it.
Thanks, John. Commissioner Kelly?
Nothing.
I thought you had something that you wanted to say. Jane?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment, Michelle, on the Voices of DuPage. I was very impressed when I heard about this project of taking oral histories from people, because I think that's a really unique way for people to learn more about the county's history. And I had the opportunity of attending the Ballots of Power and was helping with the League of Women Voters, you know, in putting that together. I thought that, you know, the museum is a small museum, so you don't expect very many real, you know, this isn't the science and industry kind of museum, but it is a really interesting museum. And just the information you were able to get about local people, Ellen Martin from Lombard, the role she played, some of the costuming, some of the buttons, it was very interesting.
Thank you. Zach handles both Voices of DuPage and the exhibits, so definitely want to shout out to my partner here.
Good job, Zach. Bob, anything from you?
I just echo what everyone said, and I look forward to the exhibit coming up on the Wheaton Park District.
Are they going to have a traveling exhibit or smaller exhibits throughout the district to promote beyond just the museum?
I believe it's at this time it's planned to just be at the museum. Food for thought, though. Take it on the road.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. But
There have been some discussions about potential panel exhibits. I'll revisit with Margie.
no, just Zach and Michelle, thank you. Your presentation and what you put together was very informative, and so thank you. Very nice job.
Thank you.
Michelle, I thank you for your annual report. It was, as Commissioner Morrow said, you know, it was very enlightening and very thorough. And, you know, I want to thank you also for your ongoing, you know, effective management and oversight of the museum, of course, with Zach's significant help. Thank you, Zach, too.
Thank you.
You know, you mentioned it, Michelle, but it was a standout, you know, under this COVID situation that, you know, 22 weeks out of the year we were closed, and then another 20 weeks of reduced hours, and, you know, we still came out. You guys hung in there, and we're still happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it says a lot about you and the museum that you're still working well and progressing towards accreditation. So, what do you think time-wise? A year, 2 years?
COVID has put us
Oh, I know.
behind quite a bit. Yeah, so I'm probably, after talking with our American Alliance of Museums, even a couple years ago, we're maybe 2025.
Okay.
Andy and I are working on reevaluating, restructuring our plans this summer, and then once we get our some of our part-time staff back, we'll be relaunching the STEPS program and some of those larger projects that we have to cross off the list.
Yeah, no, we're not pushing it. It was just of interest, you know, what our long-term, you know, goal was. So keep doing it, and we
Thanks.
appreciate it.
And-
Anybody else?
I,
Go ahead, Ken.
one other quick thing. If we have that, the 100-year celebration upstairs in the museum, what are we going to do for our subcommittee meetings?
It's actually on the
gonna-
outside edge, so we
Oh,
can still
so we can
meet.
still meet
Yeah,
there.
the space is always utilized in a way that we can utilize it in every way we need.
That's great. We get to view it while we're at the meeting. Awesome. Thank you.
In the committee.
Just before we close on the museum, I think it's important to point out, and to John's point, Michelle mentioned the grants that were sought and earned as a result of the operating shortfall, and that I want to acknowledge Michelle for her singular efforts in ensuring that this budget of her operation did not go into the red despite the challenges that were faced. She was very tenacious in seeking these grants. And took the lead in making sure that come hell or high water, this operation finished in the black through these grant opportunities that were made available in response to the pandemic. So, Michelle, congratulations, and I want to make sure you're acknowledged publicly for your hard work in that regard. It made a huge difference.
That's
Thank
why
you.
she came here, Mike.
Really hoping we can pull it off this year, too.
We will.
Good job. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to staff reports. Anybody? Anything? John?
Yeah, so I just want to let the board know, we've run into some, we're going to have some substantial changes on the pool repair project. We've pretty much completed the demo out by the top of the water slides, and the water damage was more extensive than originally thought. The engineers have made recommendations. The FlexCore roof is pretty much not acting as a structural member right now, so we're going to be pouring another slab. We did some extra removal on the south water slide. Once we took the coating off, the concrete was just crumbling. So we'd approved probably about an extra $50,000, and preliminary budgets are we could spend that amount. There's meetings scheduled this week with the structural engineer and the contractor to see what we can do quickly so we don't lose any time in getting this open. But you know, I'll have a full report for you guys at Buildings and Grounds in a couple of weeks. We should know exactly where our costs are and everything else. But we, like I said, we did run into a problem. And then the other thing is, I don't know if any of you have eaten on the patio or not yet to see the grinding work that we did. It actually looks kind of nice. So that project, there will be a project to replace that topping, you know, late fall this year. And we're talking about going back to the removable pavers so we can maintain the water barrier, which was the way it was originally designed. So within the next, you know, that's probably a month or two out before we have anything to show you on the Arrowhead slab, but expect a pretty good sized change order for the water slide repair because the damage is quite extensive. Yeah, Kevin?
So question, will this push back our opening date?
I'm hoping no, but I'll have a better answer on that at the end of the week. The biggest problem is the thicker the concrete slab we pour, there may be a time delay before we can put the coating on, but we're on schedule. We're still hoping to open on time.
If I may add, I'm sorry, if I may add to that, the response to that question, it's not, as John said, it's not looking like it'll cause a delay, but where the major problem is that's causing the change order, if you've all been to the pool, there's two sets of stairs. One goes up this way, and there's one large tube slide there, and the other one goes up on the other side, and there's two slide accesses there. The two slide access does not have the significant problem that we've discovered on the other side. So should the worst happen and we run into a delay, it is very, very likely we'll at least be able to open two slides.
It all depends on keeping it all dry up there and everything else. But, you know, the push is, the contractor does this all the time. They've done a lot of water parks. They know what needs to be done. The structural engineer's really responsive. So the decisions, we're not losing any time on this. They were out there today actually taking out the deteriorated concrete. I don't know, Mike, you went by this afternoon.
I did.
Did they finish, or he thought it'd be close whether they got all that concrete out?
They should be close to removing all of the bad concrete by the end of work today. They were better than halfway through it when I was
And
there.
pouring the concrete's quite a job, so nobody's looking to take out any more than we have to because getting the concrete up there's a lot of work. So, you know, I just didn't want anybody to be surprised when we come talk about it in 2 weeks at Buildings and Grounds.
Thanks for your work with that,
That's
John.
pretty much.
And-
Steve's been-
And Rob, thanks. if you've
Steve's been doing a really good job. Yeah.
Okay.
I-
Shout out to Steve.
I echo Kevin's sentiments in that regard. John and Rob, thanks for keeping us in the game and keeping us moving forward with the, you know, Rice Pool work. You know, we'll let's hope for the best and we open as we anticipate. John, regarding the Arrowhead deck, have we done as much as we're going to do right now?
Yeah.
So it'll be that way until the fall.
Yeah, Andy
Okay.
was able to work the guys in the mornings, and
Good.
we were able to open at lunchtime. And, you know, we don't have a tripping hazard. It's not an eyesore right now, and the chairs slide relatively smoothly on there. So it's good enough to get us through the summer without interrupting our, you know. But we will have to look at, you know, when do we close that patio so that we can get the work done this winter.
Got it.
And be ready to open with the completed project next summer.
Well, thank you and Rob both on that, and Andy too. Andy, you're here. Do you want to make any presentations? No, I'm good. Okay. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Andy, and for our public and for our board, I played 9 holes today. And the golf course is in immaculate shape. Weren't too many people out there. Maybe me.
A little
and-
windy and cold, didn't
me
it?
and
It was snowing.
three others.
It was snowing.
Optimal conditions.
I liked it. I like the challenge, but the golf course is in great shape, Andy. I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing. So, yeah, we didn't make a lot of money on the golf course today, but we got some 70-degree weather coming up next week, and I know that the tee sheets are filling up. So, keep up the good work, man. Anybody else for reports of any kind? Ray?
You got some?
No. I was
Oh, okay.
fine.
Just a
There's more
couple
to talk
things,
about.
I've got to say something. I want to congratulate Mary Beth Clary on her retirement. And also congratulate Dan Novak on his promotion. I was fortunate enough to hire both those individuals, and I worked with Mary Beth for over 17 years. And she was, I can say, one of my best employees that I've really had the opportunity to work with. She eventually got promoted to be my assistant, and I could always count on her to undertake projects and complete them, to both my satisfaction and to the satisfaction of the community. She was a great employee. We're going to miss her. And I just wanted to say that in a public meeting on her behalf. She implemented the Character Counts program for our youth sports, in case individuals didn't know that. And she was also instrumental in bringing the Wheaton Wings soccer program and the Falcons soccer program to merge and come under the auspices of the Wheaton Park District. And so those were two of the biggest highlights that I can recall. Also want to thank, if you give me opportunity, Jane Hodgkinson. She is going to be leaving our board after next board meeting. It'll be a quick board meeting and probably be a little bit hectic with swearing in the new board, but I wanted to thank her. I've had the fortune to have known Jane for 40 years, so it's a long history. And I've always been able to count on her to help me whenever I needed help. When I first ran for the board 16 years ago, Jane served on a committee to help me get elected, a time at which we annihilated John Vyers. But when
I knew it had to be Jane. I knew it couldn't be you, Ray.
When I agreed to serve on the Wheaton Sesquicentennial Commission, I needed somebody to help me with fundraising and finding volunteers, and so I went to Jane, and Jane said yes, she would help me out. And, so I appreciated that. And Kiwanis Club came up with an idea to create a playground for autistic children and individuals with challenges. And the first two people that came to mind were Mike Bernard and Jane Hodgkinson, and Jane and Mike both jumped on board, and the Sensory Garden and Playground became a reality. But last but not least, my wife needed to find a forever home for her pet rabbit, Timmy, and Jane took Timmy into her house and raised him till he finally croaked. But
Very nice, Ray. Very nice
Jane,
ending.
thank you for your years of your service, not only to the Wheaton Park District, but you're working at WDSRA and being involved in Rotary Club and Legal One voters and all else you do. And I appreciate your friendship. So thank you.
You're here.
And Timmy thanks you.
Anyone else?
I wanted to congratulate the winners of the park board election.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And recognize that there'll be a couple new faces here, or one new face, I think. And congratulations to all of you. And I have really enjoyed the opportunity to work with the park board members. I think that we've worked well together. We don't always agree, but we have been able to do it without bloodshed. And in this day and age, I think that's always a good thing. And I also want to thank the staff who, I've learned so much about what the Park District operations are that I didn't know about beforehand. And the depth of this Park District is truly amazing. So, and lastly, I guess I want to thank Ray for giving me Timmy the Rabbit. And there are many Timmy the Rabbit stories. So.
Was the death under any suspicious circumstances or no?
Ray doesn't know this, but I gave Timmy away.
How soon after he gave it to you?
3 days?
Oh, no, we had Timmy for 2 years.
And you didn't know that, Ray? Okay.
I was just glad to get him out of the house.
What else, Jane?
That's all.
Bob?
Thanks.
Good.
Kevin?
I'm good.
I want to echo a few sentiments. So I do want to congratulate Mary Beth Cleary, MB, as we know her, on, just a phenomenal career with the Wheaton Park District. And, she's, we couldn't have done it without her. And certainly congrats to Dan Novak, for the promotion, to fill that vacancy. But, organizations move on. And, Mary Beth certainly deserves her retirement. I do want to also congratulate our commissioners, John Kelly and Kevin Fahey, for their reelection. Nice job. And then to our returning commissioner, Bill Barrett, who's been gone, I believe, about 10 years. So welcome back, Bill. And Jane, as far as, not being able to do things, without, participation and cooperation, you've been phenomenal. And you're going to be missed, and we expect you back here for every meeting from now on, till you move. No? Okay, well, we could only ask. We could only ask. Sometimes we need some public, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Jane.
She doesn't like us that much.
Jane, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
And thank you for your professionalism and all of your cooperation and your input over the years. So, I don't have anything else. Mike, anything from you?
No, sir. Oh, I have one thing, if you don't mind. We did release an email to the community. The Park District, in cooperation with a home health services clinic, will be hosting a vaccine clinic at the community center a week from Friday, April 30th. 500 Moderna doses will be available. For those of you at home, if you haven't seen our email, please call the Park District and to receive a link to register for that program if you need it. So we're very pleased to be a part of the community vaccination effort, and my gratitude to the staff at the community center for helping orchestrate it.
A final question to you, Mike. We've released the Memorial Park Plan newsletter, of course. Have we had any feedback from the public at all?
It was just released. None has made it back. We've had a couple of pieces of feedback have come in, but I think it's really hitting the streets, as we speak right
today,
now.
right, today.
So
Today.
I'll keep the board posted.
Mine
if we
came
receive
today.
feedback.
Okay. All right. If nothing else, look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Fahey and a second by Hutchinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Good meeting.
Thanks, Donna. Thanks,